Rawteur. Disney says Jimmy Kimmel's suspension is over, and he's supposed to be back in his chair Tuesday night. But here's the part Disney isn't shouting from the rooftops. If you're in Seattle, Portland, Washington, D.C., New Orleans, just to name a few, you, along with millions of other households, still won't be able to see him. Two of the biggest affiliate groups, Sinclair and Nexstar, still refuse to air his show. And they're not just making noise online. They're actually pulling Jimmy Kimmel live from all of their local stations. That means Disney gets to issue a press release about Jimmy's triumphant return, but if you live in one of those blackout markets, you'll flip the channel at 11:35 and find late night news or, in some cases, a Charlie Kirk tribute special. And that's where this story takes a sharp turn and becomes more about how much power affiliates really have over Disney. See, the Sinclair blackout means a loss of about 17.5 million to 19 million household viewers. And Sinclair isn't being vague. They laid out their conditions for Jimmy Kimmel's return to their stations. They want a public apology from Jimmy Kimmel to Charlie Kirk's family, a meaningful personal donation to both the family and Turning Point USA, and formal accountability talks with ABC about professionalism moving forward. Now, affiliates don't usually demand donations or apologies from late night hosts. They might send complaints up the food chain, but to flat out preempt the network's flagship show until their terms are met is pretty much unheard of. See, late night comedy has turned into a political bargaining chip, and we're all watching it live, no pun intended. Every night they pull the plug, Disney's advertising model gets weaker. Now, you've probably seen people online claiming Disney lost $15 billion after suspending Kimmel. That sounds a bit dramatic, but the reality is that Disney's stock dipped about 1%. That's still billions in market cap on paper, but not the meltdown social media made it sound like. The bigger issue isn't stock price, it's advertising. See, late night advertising has been in decline for years. Now, we touched on this during our Colbert cancellation coverage a while back. For Jimmy Kimmel Live, specifically, estimates put its annual ad revenue at roughly $40 million. That's enough to cover his salary and keep the show afloat, but it's not untouchable money. Back in the day, a 30-second spot on late night TV might go for $25,000 to $40,000. These days, those ad rates are often packaged into bundles or discounted heavily. So if Sinclair strips away millions of households, advertisers start asking, why are we paying for this inventory if the show isn't airing in entire regions? See, that's why Disney couldn't just keep him suspended indefinitely. Every day he was off the air meant more questions from advertisers and more pressure on a part of the business that's already shrinking. Now, Disney also had cultural pressure. Over 400 celebrities signed an ACLU letter demanding Kimmel's reinstatement. There were some big names like Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep, Selena Gomez, Lin-Manuel Miranda, etc. But let's be honest, the petition was more of a PR umbrella. The real force driving this decision wasn't Hollywood signatures. It was the financial hit from affiliates and advertisers. But here's what makes this worse. Sinclair isn't the only problem. Nexstar, another giant affiliate owner, has also pulled Jimmy Kimmel Live from its ABC stations. They announced an indefinite preemption, saying Kimmel's comments about Charlie Kirk's death were offensive and insensitive and didn't reflect community values. Now here's why this is even stickier. Nexstar has a $6.2 billion merger with Tenga pending approval. That deal can't move forward without the FCC signing off. And when you've got a deal this size in the hands of regulators, the last thing you want to do is to look like you're going soft on controversy. Now, that's why it's unlikely Nexstar will come around anytime soon. They need to show regulators that they're responsible broadcasters. Cutting Kimmel loose indefinitely makes them look like they're taking the high road, at least on paper. Now, unlike Sinclair, Nexstar hasn't put specific conditions on the table. There were no apology demands, no donation requirements. Their stance is simpler. Kimmel's comments were out of bounds, and until further notice, they won't carry his show. So, what does this add up to? Well, Sinclair's blackout alone means about 17.5 to 19 million households. That's roughly 12 to 15% of the country, which equals $5 to $7 million in lost ad revenue on a $46 million base. Add Nexstar into the mix, and the number climbs closer to 30 million households, nearly a quarter of the country. That pushes the loss into the $10 to $14 million range. And when you remember Jimmy makes around $15 to $16 million a year, Disney's basically paying for two Jimmys and getting bad PR in return. Sure, ABC can shuffle ads around, stream episodes on Hulu, or offer make-good deals to advertisers. But late night is built on the promise of live reach. And when affiliates are pulling out entire markets, that promise gets weaker. As of now, Disney says they had a thoughtful conversation with Kimmel. They admitted some of his remarks were ill-timed and insensitive, but that's as close to a corporate apology as you're gonna get. Now, what they didn't do was offer an official public apology directly to the Kirk family. They didn't confirm a donation to Turning Point USA, nor have they given any indication that Kimmel accepted Sinclair's list of conditions. In other words, Disney and Kimmel did just enough internally to justify putting him back on the air, but they didn't give Sinclair exactly what they asked for. And that's why the blackout will continue. Disney could easily say to Kimmel in 2026, look, you're not worth what you were before. And this is how affiliate fights today could end up shaping whether Jimmy Kimmel even makes it to the end of his contract, let alone his ability to sign another one. So, Tuesday night, Jimmy Kimmel returns to TV, but if you live in a Sinclair or Nexstar market, you won't see him. Disney made the announcement, but the affiliates had the last word. The real question isn't whether Jimmy Kimmel will come back, it's whether late night TV can even survive when its very existence depends on affiliates, advertisers, and the political leanings of an FCC commission, and politics colliding in the same time slot. So what do you think? If millions of households can't even see Jimmy Kimmel live anymore, and millions more may outright refuse to watch him going forward, is Jimmy Kimmel's late night career cooked? Let me know in the comments below, and for more industry insights, check out this video right here.